Hey, welcome. It's Adam and Casey again. We're glad you're here because you're paying attention and you're doing the inner work it's going to take to move yourself forward, to get that first foot on the path to leaving the law. And in today's video, we're going to talk about why you really don't like practicing law. Now, we understand there's particular reasons why you may not like showing up to work every day, and those things you know well, but we really want to give you the underlying reasons, the purposes why you don't like practicing law. And it may surprise you, some of it, because you've never heard this before. You know, you may not like the long hours, the stress, the fact that you're always under the gun for malpractice, the asshole clients, right? A lot of them are assholes. We know this. I've had a lot of asshole clients. I understand how to create clients now, but clients are so difficult now, and they expect things yesterday, right? I mean, they're just not reasonable, right, Casey?
That's right. No, totally.
Let's talk about the deeper reasons why everyone on this call, on this video that's watching this video, let's talk about those deep, profound reasons why people don't like practicing law.
And we got the usual suspects, which you just listed, Adam. And when we're on the phone, people say all those reasons, but really the deep one, the deep reason really comes down to is that, are you listening? You ready for this? Your skills and strengths and the value that you can really bring to the world is not aligned, doesn't connect, doesn't match with the job description of an attorney. Now, I want to say that one more time. You've got skills and strengths. You are great at things. We attorneys are great at things. You've got it inherently, and you've got it from all of your training, your schooling, and the work that you've done professionally. It's not a fit at all, or it's not a fit for the most part with the job description of an attorney. That's why where the imposter syndrome comes from. That's where the long hours comes from. That's where the working too hard, the working inefficiency, all of this comes from. And that's where ultimately this lack of meaning, this lack of purpose, this lack of enjoyment all comes from. And this is something that we call your unique genius. It's those skills and strengths that just come naturally to you, not stuff you just phone in and are complacent about. It's what you're on this earth to actually do. And these aren't just legal skills. The skills that you have, and this is what we teach you in Leave Law Behind, the skills that you have that you may think are just legal skills, are just to be applied to doing the law stuff, are transferable and in demand in careers that are out of the law.
Let me go one step further, Casey, because their skills and strengths do not match up with being a lawyer. So we know this, you and I know this, they may not know this, but let's go even deeper than this. And for me, it's you don't like the work because it's stuff you don't like to do. So your skills and strengths, the set of skills and strengths that you have, your unique genius, your life purpose, which is a broader category that I teach, that, you know, when you join us in the program in module 6, you're going to learn from me about life purpose. But because you have these skills and strengths that are not aligned with the law, the stuff that you enjoy working on is not part of what you'd work on as a lawyer. Crazy. I mean, this is the stuff that we really don't understand, even though we look at it and say, I just don't like this, but I don't understand why. That's it in a nutshell for the most part. Now, there's a few other things we're going to talk about in this video, but you're not doing work that you could really enjoy. And that is what you would find out of the law.
No, Adam, that's a great point. And I love how you dug deeper in there. And you know, what this really means is that you're not in the zone. You're not just doing something that comes naturally to you in that great way. And we see that when you go out of the law, when you get on your path out of the law, when you find these are what they call alternative jobs, that's where it happens. And the stresses, the deadlines, the things to get done, they're all there. The thing is that you enjoy it and you're good at this work, so you know how to handle it.
One of the things I looked at when I was in the law, and I said, well, what do I like about practicing law? And I just started doing all of those things because ultimately I had my own firm and I could make the decisions. I was the only partner for most of the time I practiced, or I was the managing partner, which I decided what I was going to do and what I wasn't. I just focused on the things that I enjoyed doing. And that's one of the ways I enjoyed practicing law. But most of the people, you in particular, Casey, you didn't have that opportunity. And most people that are listening to this video don't have the opportunity to say, I'm not doing any of this stuff. I'm just going to work on these few things and that's it. But I pulled in my unique genius into the law and said, what am I good at? Well, what I was good at was the marketing and getting out and pressing the flesh, as they say, shaking hands, rainmaking, all those things I was very good at. And I started creating campaigns to bring in clients and customers and real estate agents who'd send us business. And it was beautiful and it was easy. But after a while, I just got tired of doing the same thing over and over because it really wasn't aligned with my unique genius, which is to teach and share and consult with people and help people grow. And so that's the reason I left the law. But ultimately, when people connect with their skills and strengths and they actually find a job that has a list of things that they would do every day, which is what we're going to ask you to do when you find your unique genius and figure that out. We're going to say, hey, line these skills and strengths and your unique genius up with these non-law jobs that are in the list of 80, which, Casey, you boiled down to 20. Look at those jobs. You might find 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at those jobs under a microscope and see what it would entail you doing every day. And then reach out to some people that are doing those jobs and say, do you like it? What do you do all day? And if those things align, the stars align, right? Then you'll be working on 50, 60, 70, 80% of the things you really want to do, that you have a passion for, that you love doing, that you're not doing now because you've got no passion or purpose. Because as we said, your unique genius and skills and strengths and life purpose aren't aligned with the things that you would do every day practicing law.
That's right.
It's pretty simple.
Exactly right. And for me, I had the plum job. I was in-house counsel for a software technology firm here in San Francisco with the .com looking office and everything. And it still wasn't aligning with my unique genius. The anxiety of missing something in my negotiations, the anxiety and just this fear that I was going to leave something out when I'm drafting agreements, and also just being the adult in the room and being with biz dev people and sales people and creative people and engineers, and them, me coming in and saying what they can and can't do. It's a great job for some people. And if that sounds like a great job for you, then you should stay in the law and do it. But if you don't like what I just described, because I know it wasn't a fit for me, I had to go do something else. And I realized at that point, not only was the law not for me, but I needed to find not only understand what my skills and strengths are, which is what Adam just described, and we help you do in the Leave Law Behind world community, but really it was finding jobs that align. And everything that he just described, we're going to be getting more detail on this. We take you through these steps. We've done the heavy lifting. We are so committed to helping you leave the law that we've got and listed the alternative jobs. We pull the curtain on what's beyond transaction litigation work, and we help you match your skills to these non-law alternative jobs.
Last but not least in this video, we want to overcome something that is fright with fear, that people have fear about this. And we talk to people on the phone all the time about it. And that is, do my skills and strengths really align with something outside of the law? Yes, they do. Let me answer that right now. And you probably, if you did the quiz and you listened to or read the answers and all that stuff, you know that that's not the case. So you have skills and strengths that do align with lots of jobs outside of the law. So put your mind at rest on that right now, because Casey touched on that, and I wanted to make sure you understood that right now in the first video. So let's talk about the next video. Casey, why don't you introduce us to what's coming next to them in that next email?
Yeah, thanks, Adam. So keep a lookout for your inbox from us. We got another video coming your way, and this is huge. What we're going to send down and unpack for you are the top fears, the top obstacles, the top blockers that are getting in your way of leaving law. Let's admit it. Let's just get it right on the table. As Adam says, put it under a microscope, shine a light on it. There are fears that we have that cause us that anxiety, that are paralyzing us and sabotaging us from making positive change. We are going to go into the top 4 of them in the next video. You are not going to want to miss this. And this builds on all of the 20 plus fears that we identify, unpack, and help you overcome in Module 1 of the Leave Law Behind program.
Let me just give you a little taste of what's coming. The first fear we're going to talk about is not being able to make enough money out of the law that you are in the law. And we're going to crush that fear right out the blocks in the next video. So be on the lookout. Watch this video. Very powerful. We're thankful you're here, and we'll see you in that next video in a day or two. Right, Casey?
That's right. Be coming shortly. Honored to have you as part of the Leave Law Behind community. Keep a lookout. We got so much good stuff coming. Thanks.
Bye-bye.